Hi, greetings everyone, and welcome and thank you for joining us on the Ask Dr. Joanne show. I am Dr. Joanne Frederick, also known as Dr. J, your host for today. And today we have a topic that we need to talk about. The topic is on Juneteenth. I am a licensed professional mental health counselor, and I am the author of the book Copology. So make sure and get your copy if you haven't yet. Let's talk about Juneteenth. Let's watch a small clip on what is Juneteenth.
Juneteenth is defined as a holiday celebrated on June 19th to commemorate the emancipation of enslaved people in the U.S. The holiday was first celebrated in Texas, where on that date in 1865, in the aftermath of the Civil War, slaves were declared free under the terms of the 1862 Emancipation Proclamation.
And that is what Juneteenth is. So I decided to do a small show on this today for a couple of reasons. One, I had people ask me, how can white people and their white colleagues support Juneteenth? I've had people ask me, do I believe it should be a holiday or not? So I said, let's do a talk show on this. And I also had the opportunity to meet a young man who is a teenager that is starting his own business, and I wanted to highlight him today for Juneteenth. This is one of the ways that I'm celebrating. So, can we bring our speaker on for tonight? Dale,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm doing good, and yourself?
Good, good. Thank you so much for taking time to be with us today.
Oh, it was wonderful
So,
to.
yeah, I got a couple questions for you. What do you think about Juneteenth?
Um, Most recently, in the past 5 years, I did a lot more research about Juneteenth, especially when my mother took me and my family members to African American Museum. I learned a lot more about what Juneteenth was and the whole process that people had to go through, especially down in the South, how it led to the Civil War. So I really didn't know much about Juneteenth before, it being established. All I just knew was that, oh, the slaves were freed 1865 and it led to the Civil War. But I didn't know what led to it, the trials and tribulations, and how people were very apprehensive about even freeing the slaves. So it was interesting learning more into that because I love learning about history. So it was so interesting to learn about that.
Wow. I'm impressed, and for several reasons. One, I think it's good that you already heard about this before last year, because it seems like there's some people that's now hearing about Juneteenth, but it sounds like your mom, your family, aware, celebrated, exposed you to it. I really love that. That's great. And, I'm impressed by you, just knowing you and how you're speaking and your journey, and so tell us a little bit about you, like your age. I know you just graduated. Yeah, let's hear about Dale.
So I'm 18. I just graduated from Northwestern High School. I was in that school for basically 4 years. I actually got in that school for a visual art performing program. So I was in the art program. I learned about design, about video photography, visual effects, and that really helped me into creating designs for T-shirts and clothing and doing work for people. So that's one of the memories that I'm gonna have from being in high school. Is that program helped me to grow my skill even more just by the teachers and seeing other students work because their work was just amazing. So seeing that, I was like, you know what, I could do this too. Like I want to do this. So I like I'm really gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss high school.
Wow, wow. Well, I think you're amazing. I see your talent. I've seen you grow over the years as well. And so as you talked about t-shirts, so I'm wearing one of the Juneteenth t-shirts that you actually designed. And so I understand that you're selling these t-shirts and other t-shirts as well, right? You have a business now as well. Talk to us about your business, and I would love to hear the process of how you designed this. This is excellent.
All right, so my clothing business is called DrJoanne. Like it's mainly streetwear, but I'm planning like in the future to step out my comfort zone and do different styles. But right now it's mainly streetwear. I'm doing like t-shirts, hats. Each t-shirt and hat like has its own design, so it makes it more different from the other one. So the other one can have like a texture that has like a text and it's like a different crazy font, or the other one can have a really dope design behind the t-shirt. And the name process of it actually took me a long time. Shanti, I actually came up with that name from doing research of African warriors. So Asakwa Shanti, but I shortened it to call it Ashanti. So I came up with that because I really thought, you know what, that would be nice, to tap into, Black African culture within a name. So I was like, I like that. And then the process to make the t-shirts, it takes a very long time because I usually like to do a bunch of sketches. I usually use sketches before I like go on my laptop on my iPad and actually do the design digitally. So I like to just do multiple sketches and see how it looks before I like want to put it on a t-shirt, or I go to a print shop or embroidery shop and have it put on a t-shirt.
That is really good. So there's a process here. I love the name of the business. Spell it for me. Let me hear that.
Dashanti, Dashanti.
Yes, yes. And I could definitely hear the culture in there, right? The
Yeah.
African culture where you're keeping that alive and recreating it in your own way. You have a website yet?
No, I haven't. We've just started like a week ago. So right now we're just getting everything ramped up. We're getting a bunch of orders in. A lot of people really like the Juneteenth design. So right now we're just prepping everything up because, people really like the design. So, like, starting slow right now, but we're getting everything ramped up.
Excellent. Yeah, this is important. When folks ask me, like, how should we celebrate Juneteenth and what are my thoughts and how can white people and, celebrate us? So I think it is something to celebrate. I think that Juneteenth signifies history, American history, and we have to know American history. But I also think that Juneteenth, I think, should be a conversation and a reminder of who we were before we were enslaved. And who we were business owners, we were professionals, we were family oriented. And then here comes the African diaspora through the slave trade where Africans were all over. Right, and one of the places where our family is from, Trinidad and Tobago. Just an example of where Africans went and settled, where they were brought to and settled. And so I think to me, Juneteenth represents knowing that, and then the enslavement, and then the freedom, and where we are today. So there's going to be a lot of activities locally, with Juneteenth, whether it's parades, music, culture, food, the things that Black people celebrate and we're into. But I think what's important is that we should support Black owned businesses and products during this time. I think that we should engage in self care, relax, take in the music, the culture, and so when we talk about supporting Black owned businesses, this is why I thought of like having this interview with you because you're a young entrepreneur, up and coming. There's a lot of media out there, negativity about what young Black um, folks are not doing. And it was nice to highlight what some of you all are doing.
Yeah.
On that note, do you have any last thoughts that you want to share with the audience?
Yeah, I would like to say like going back to like how can people celebrate like Juneteenth? I always get that question too. Like usually like to a lot of my other friends who aren't like, Black themselves. Like I always usually tell them like, you can always go to the African American Museum, learn more about Juneteenth, go to public celebrations that maybe your community's having, like, watch movies on, like, just learn more about the history and the culture. Even if not being Black, you don't have to not celebrate it because there are ways to celebrate it. I feel like you don't have to be a certain specific race to celebrate something, because, it's always good to learn about other people's cultures anyway and learn about, what happens in their history. So I feel like that's important too.
Yeah, I agree. Because what you're saying is that this holiday is all inclusive. It's not just
Yeah.
for Black people. Like everybody should engage in it in some kind of way. Definitely. Good. So where can we purchase T-shirts from you?
So they can purchase T-shirts, DM me from my personal Instagram, Devarsi at Devarsi, or they can go to the official Desanti Instagram, which I could send to you, and you can like put in the description. But that's where people right now can DM me and let me know the size of the shirts, what color they want, because we come in black and white, and how many they want.
Excellent. Good. And in general, how can we support you? How can we support your business?
Um, just getting the T-shirt and posting you wearing it, that would do a lot of help. Like right now at the moment, just to help grow us more, so it could get more attention. Like right now, just post a picture of you wearing it, and I'll repost it and share it.
Definitely. And then, of course, you're going to have more designs coming up, it sounds like, as well, huh? Yeah. Good. Well, thank you for being with us today. I hope to have you on again with another topic, another design. I think you are up and coming. You are ready for the world. Congratulations on your high school graduation and your birthday. I heard it's coming up. I really appreciate and looking forward to seeing more of you.
All right, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Bye bye.